I'm excited for this next segment, you guys. It's been a long time since we've had a fun movie game in with History of Popcorn, but I'm looking forward to this one. This is called Box Office Redux.
Bow, bow, bow.
We need
I
a
googled it.
you
He
need a
says
jingle.
Redux. Yeah.
It's
'Cause
Redux.
He says Redux in Google. I don't know, man.
Who says that?
The little voice when you type in Redux.
Don't listen to him.
Says pronounce it Redux. But Box Office Redux or Redo, Box Office Redo, whatever, however we want to call it, we're doing this again. And since this whole episode was based on A24, we are going to recast The Hangover. What if A24 made a remake of The Hangover? And
what if they did that?
That'd be insane. For those of you who don't know what The Hangover is, have you been living under a rock? That's an interesting thing if you haven't heard of The Hangover. But if you don't, The Hangover follows three buddies who wake up from a bachelor party in Las Vegas with no memory of the previous night. And the bachelor is missing. They must make their way around the city of Las Vegas in order to find their friend in time for his wedding. And hijinks ensues. I think the three of us were pretty well versed with Las Vegas, so this felt like a good movie to start on. How'd you guys feel about recasting this series? Did it feel a little dirty? Did it feel a little dirty? Because it's kind of a classic comedy.
It was hard. It was difficult. Because, like, the original cast was... I mean, I got to give him credit, dude. I mean, it's Todd Phillips, you know. People love him now because of his most recent work. But it's funny that he was so good at those movies back then. Like, just like comedy movies. Like, the cast is so diverse of, like, the four bros is so diverse and, like, different, like, physically and both... and charismatically, but they all work together so well. So it was really hard to recast these guys.
It really did put all these actors on the map. Like, sure, Ed Helms, who plays Stu, he was in The Office. Bradley Cooper was up and coming. He had been in Wedding Crashers a little bit, and Zach Galifinakis, he shows up in random places, but this really made him a movie star.
He was a character actor, really.
Yeah,
not to
did, like,
mention
Purple
Ken
Onion,
Jeong.
I think.
His first
Ken Jeong.
ever movie. First ever movie.
This was Ken Jeong's first movie?
Yeah, he wasn't even an actor.
What a debut. That's awesome.
He only did the movie. He did the movie because it gave him enough money to help with his wife's cancer treatment. That's why he took the role.
Smokes.
He was like, it pays good. I'm going to do it.
He was a doctor.
He was a doctor, yeah, and he needed help. His cancer,
Dang.
and it helped him. His wife's still alive, and she's all better, and so that movie really changed Ken Jeong's life. Yeah,
The Hangover saved us all.
So I felt a little dirty making this new cast just because it's almost untouchable. Like but that's the exciting thing about History of Popcorn. We go there. we're gonna change your mind about The Hangover, and we can. So we have three. We can and we will. So we have three different casts set for The Hangover. A24's The Hangover. How do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to go one character at a time, or do you want each person to present their full cast?
I think we go.
We discuss.
I like one character. I don't know. It's kind of one character is kind of funny.
Elijah, tiebreaker.
Dealer's choice.
I put out the pitch. I don't know. I was asking. I guess.
Well,
and now you got to end it.
Okay, let's do. Frick. I think we should do the whole cast at a time so people can picture it better.
Sounds good.
Because if we say three names at a time, people are gonna be like, "Wait, whose was who?"
Right? How did they mesh?
Yeah. So I think we should do each person pitches their idea for the full cast, and we will give our opinions whenever we want. And I will make it so that the listeners and viewers will pick their favorite cast out of all three of us, and we'll see what the comments say later on, and we'll see if there's a winner or not.
Ooh.
Although we're just having fun here, so there's no real winners. The real winners are the friends we made along the way. All right, who wants to go first? Does anyone want to jump on that grenade?
Jake does.
Let's do it.
All right, Jake. This is Jake's pitch for A24's The Hangover.
The Jake-over. All right. So if A24 redid this movie, I picked some of the A24's normal characters. I looked through their cast list and people that I liked. and also people that would fit the general character of who they were supposed to be, not just people I liked. Alan was probably the hardest. I don't know. I don't know if it was easier for either of you guys, but for someone to fit the role that Zach Galifinakis kind of brought to life, like Zach Galifianakis is original in almost everything he does in a different way, but he does play that like fat weirdo in every single thing that he does in a different, unique way. But so to fill him was really hard. I chose Christopher Abbott. He has one of his eyes is like kind of slightly off center, and he has this like weird intensity about him.
He does it, yeah.
So like he wouldn't exactly be just like Alan, but he would be like, there are Skittles in there. He would in a
He's
different way.
Definitely unnerving. Yeah,
he's unnerving. Yeah, so he'd be a more like unsettling version of Alan. Phil, who was Bradley Cooper, tall, dark, and handsome. I went with Robert Pattinson. He's charismatic. Nice. He's tall. He's like physically.
A24 loves him.
A24 loves him. And then he's also good at American characters. So even though he's English, he would fit the bill great. His accents in Good Time and his other American roles are great. So he could do it. Stu, the dentist. I thought this was the one that I was really unsure about. So I picked Casey Affleck. I feel like watching him in Manchester by the Sea, he has this kind of like brooding kind of upsetness about him, where he's just like, people will throw like annoying situations at him, and he's just like, okay, like just how Stu is kind of brooding in it in the same way, and then he blows up on his lady at the end.
He kind of looks like a sad man. Like Stu's character starts off pretty sad. His life's pretty miserable because he's got a bad wife. He hates his job.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I can see that.
100%. And then Doug is not in the movie very long. He's in very few scenes, but he does have some important scenes, like when they find him on the roof and he wakes up and he tackles him. He's like, "You fucking asshole!" and like tackles him. So you get like a little bit of like who he is. Like he's obviously very upset that this happened. I thought it'd be very funny to put Stephen Ewan in this role. He always plays a guy who is like a good guy, I think, at heart, but he's always in bad situations, like whether it's Beef or Minari or Glenn from Walking Dead. Like he's always a good guy, and he never gets the good end of the stick.
Yeah.
The celebrity cameo, instead of Mike Tyson, I'm gonna go with Nicolas Cage, because I think he lives in Vegas, and I think anybody who saw Nicolas Cage would be freaked out. Everybody loves him.
He could be weird. He could be really
weird. Very weird.
You think he would play himself just like Mike Tyson did?
100%. Yeah, I want Nick Cage being Nick Cage.
Nice. That's a good one.
I remember like living there. My grandparents would say like, "Yeah, we'd like see him at the bar." Like they went to this particular bar. They lived in a nice part of town, and yeah, he would just be there with his wife or whatever. And I think I don't know if he still lives there or what. But and then finally we have Mr. Chow. I said Liam Neeson because Liam Neeson has taken 2 roles from Asian actors already: Ra's al Ghul and Qui-Gon Jinn. Clearly not white characters, but he was like, "I'll be a fucking Asian. I don't care." And he's still named Mr. Chow. He's still Mr. Chow.
Same name.
But it's Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's Robert Pattinson was the very first person that came to mind to me for Stu as well. Phil. I mean, yeah.
That's a pretty intense cast. When was the last time you saw Casey Affleck in a comedy?
I mean, honestly, even in Manchester by the Sea, at the beginning there's a moment where he has a funny moment with a woman who, like, he's fixing her apartment, and he's like, "Well, we could turn on the shower and see if it leaks downstairs." She's like, "You want me to take a shower right now?" He's like, "I don't give a fuck what you do, Mrs. Olsen. I'm trying to fix a fucking leak." And, like, he has a great comedic timing.
It's very
so, like, he
Boston,
can do it.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Boston humor.
It's good. It's good, though, yeah.
I do like Casey Affleck a lot.
That's a great cast.
Thank you.
Your bad guy was Liam Neeson?
Yeah, Mr. Chow.
Okay.
And he's just another Chinese character, but he's playing a white guy.
That's great. I like that. That's a solid cast. I could see A24 doing that. They love all those people. Chris, would you like to go next, or would you like me to go next?
I can go next.
All right.
I think we're most excited to hear yours, so let's hear mine. So I wanted to take a different route and do an all-female cast. or as much of an all-female cast as I could. So I also am not as familiar with an extensive movie lineup, so you forgive me if my selection seems a little surface level. But for Bradley Cooper, Phil, I thought Zoe Kravitz would be a good replacement. I think she's, I mean, stunning, obviously,
my
but
school teacher.
But she's also, right? Like, I think she would be like the oh hey Mrs. Kravitz, whenever she comes in the classroom kind of thing. Right. Like everybody, stiffens up because she's cool and whatever. But she's young, but she drives the cool sports car and that kind of thing. Her kids love the 6th period class because she leaves 15 minutes early and whatever, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of how
Don't talk to me,
Phil was in the movie. Yeah, don't talk to me after school. Like he.
Yeah,
school's over.
I think she gives off that era, don't talk to me till I've had my coffee kind of thing. Ed Helms, I agree with you. Stu it's just been beaten by life. So I try to find somebody similar. So I said Ayo Edebiri from The Bear.
Oh, okay.
I just think she would work in a hospital or a doctor's office of some kind and just fucking hate it and just be miserable with dealing with the idiots that she has to be around all day long. And then, even with these guys, she's like, ugh, like kind of thing. That's good. I agree with you. Alan was really hard to come up with somebody, as well. That was a challenge. Galifinakis is so unique. And so I tried to come up with somebody that plays kind of the same character in everything that they do, but in a different way. So first person that came to mind for me was Aubrey Plaza.
Nice. I'll take it.
I think it'd be interesting to see her have more of a role in something. And I think her and Zoe Kravitz and Ayo Edebiri trying to go around Las Vegas together would be fucking hilarious. It just sounds like a really funny crew.
Sounds fun.
But then taking in the A24 element of it, like probably with a little bit more grittiness to it, a little bit more like...
There's definitely going to be some rewrites.
I think Kristen Stewart actually might be a better role for that. I think Kristen Stewart could like... Kristen Stewart?
Which role?
For Alan. For still like the comedy relief kind of thing of it all. Like
there's Skittles in there.
Aubrey Plaza or Kristen Stewart?
Yeah, one of the two.
Okay.
But if we're putting this on the poll, I'll say Aubrey Plaza. Kristen Stewart was my alternative.
Nice. I have some alternatives too. Yeah.
For Doug, for Justin Bartha, I'm gonna butcher her name. Rachel Sennott. That's how you say her last name. Sennett.
Who is this?
That would just make me sad because I'd be like, I want more of her. But there's sequel opportunities too to bring them back.
Oh yeah, this girl.
She brings like a certain seriousness tone to it that I think would be needed. And again, kind of like what Jake was saying, like she's always played such serious roles. It'd be funny to see her like cut loose, even just for like briefly. I think it would take you, it would really grab your attention to see her like flip a lid kind of thing. You'd be like, whoa. Yeah. For Mr. Chow, Ken Jeong, Natasha Lyonne. Their raspy voice.
Oh yeah.
I think like they're in the casino and she's like on the slot machines. There's like an old biddy, just like trying to pass her knowledge on to them, and like
that's hilarious.
Really good. She does. She can't. I think she could play a really good villain.
She's like they're using my slot machines. We're gonna get them off of them.
My slots. Pulls out a gun.
Celebrity cameo, keeping it all female, Lady Gaga. She's already here. She's already in a million things. I think it'd be funny if it was her like as Lady Gaga, but in like 50 different outfits throughout the movie. Like she's just constantly in something different. Never looks like her.
That's a funny bit. Yeah.
My other celebrity cameos, Pedro Pascal or Bill Hader, I also think would be fun. I think Pedro Pascal just being like the love interest of all of them during the movie at various different points would be really funny.
Yeah.
Like he, yeah. So that's who I came up with. That's my.
Those are really good.
That was great.
That's funny. I didn't know you did a all-female cast. We teased it.
You did not know that?
Correctly.
Because you teased it in the last episode. I was like,
maybe one of us will do it. I don't know. How would I have known? I wouldn't. That's great. I love it. I'm glad you did that. I thought about doing that, but I was like, that's pretty hard for me.
It was challenging. There's unfortunately not a lot of... You got to
picture everything in a whole new light.
Yeah.
That's great. Here we go. This is my A24's Hangover. My Alan is going to be played by, who was originally played by Zach Galifinakis. My Alan is Michael Cera.
Oh, okay.
I think he could play a lot of weirdness. He's weird, and he hasn't been weird in a while. He's kind of trying to break out of that, of being like, I don't know. He's been trying to break out of his weirdness, I think, which is cool, but I would love to see Alan as Michael Cera. My Phil, it's funny, who was originally played by Bradley Cooper. My Phil is Steven Yeun, which is funny that you said that. I think he would work so well as a cool teacher. I think he would be the guy who's always trying to keep people to calm down. So I like that you said Steven Yeun. I was sad that he was Doug, because there's not enough of him in it then, but sequel opportunities. But I made Steven Yeun my Phil. Stu, the dentist, originally Ed Helms. I made Nicholas Braun, who is in Succession. He's tall and lanky. He kind of exudes Ed Helms a little bit in that way. But I think Nicholas Braun would play a really good, bumbling, like sad guy who gets overwhelmed incredibly easily. And sure, that might be his corner of what he's been playing, but he plays it well.
He does do it. That's such a good pick.
My Doug, I have two options for Doug. I don't want to disappoint people with this first choice that I had, because they're like, he was hardly in the movie because it's Doug. So I took that into consideration, but my original choice for Doug was Zach Efron. I think them trying to find Zach Efron would be really enticing, but for marketing purposes and stuff in my head, I was like, people are going to want to see Zach Efron, especially if he's in the trailers and stuff, and they're going to feel shortchanged. So if it wasn't Zach Efron, my backup would be Rupert Grint from the Harry Potter series.
Nice.
I think he would be really excited. People would recognize him and be like, oh, it's Ron Weasley.
Hell yeah.
I think him getting married and them all being friends with Rupert Grint and him being nervous about getting married and all that stuff, I think he would play a really good role of being like, fuck, you guys really forgot about me. Like, I think he's one of those actors where you're like, I forgot that guy was an actor. Not in a bad way. He doesn't need to act because he made so much money. That's his thing. He's a good actor, but Rupert Grint, I think, would be my main Doug who goes missing. For my Mr. Chow, I changed it to Miss Bear because it is a female. I changed the name of Mr. Chow to Miss Bear. That's the character name. Okay. And I think you guys are going to be pretty surprised and happy. I chose Aubrey Plaza as the bad guy.
Dude, great minds.
You guys have some good ideas.
Wow.
I think Aubrey Plaza playing a bad guy would be incredible, of her being like a kingpin or queenpin of
100%.
Of Vegas would be awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know how they would do the scene where she jumps out of the trunk. It would probably be a little different. Maybe not. Maybe she'd do that. Go full Jennifer Lawrence like she did in that movie.
That was insane.
But I think she would be an incredible bad guy, and she could make people laugh, and her intensity, I think, is there. And then my celebrity cameo, I have two. If you know Vegas, you know this person, but I don't know how marketable they are anymore. But my celebrity cameo would be Chris Angel.
Okay,
that's awesome.
He's just mind freaking the Hangover people.
That's awesome.
He's a street magician guy who's rock and roll. But if he wasn't marketable enough, I would have chosen Shia LaBeouf, because I think
my god, that'd be
seeing him show up as like a really out there character would be it's believable. Kind of like Liam Neeson showing up as a weird guy too.
Yeah.
And Nick Cage. Like that, like all those actors, you're just like, what the hell is this person doing there? And they make it work, and it's so bizarre. I think Shia LaBeouf would be there because I think you could get him angry, like they did Mike Tyson. I think he could get
easily.
Rage and also
he'd also
confusion.
own a tiger.
Yeah,
the tiger
you wouldn't
makes
question
sense.
it. You'd be like, yeah, Shia LaBeouf would have a tiger.
Yeah, I fucking own a tiger.
Yeah, that was my cast for A24's The Hangover.
That was
it's
awesome.
Crazy that I
fun.
had little elements of both of you guys. Steven Yeun.
Yeah, the crossover was
funny.
interesting for all different
Great
characters
minds.
too.
Yeah, great minds though. So that's a solid. I think those are solid choices. I'm curious to know what the audience will think about these options. I really like Christopher Abbott as Alan though, because there's an intensity there. I only just got introduced to Christopher Abbott from the Wolfman movie that came out in January. I had never really seen him work until then. You haven't seen Wolfman?
Wolfman.
It came out in January. It's literally just the original Universal Wolfman movie, but they put their own spin on it.
Oh, I didn't know that he was in this. The advertising, the marketing was all just Julie Gardner, who I don't particularly care for. So I didn't really. I didn't even know that he was in this.
Yeah, she ends up being like the main character because Christopher Abbott's the Wolfman, and it's kind of like they got to survive him. Whoa. It was originally supposed to be Ryan Gosling, but then scheduling conflicts, so it became Christopher Abbott.
So, wow, his makeup looks awesome.
It's a pretty solid movie. It's by the guy who did the Saw, or he wrote the first Saw movie, Leigh Whannell. He also did the movie Upgrade, and he also did the movie The Invisible Man. The new
Invisible Man was cool.
So they trust him with these Universal monsters, but Christopher Abbott is a really good choice, I think.
Yeah, he's got honestly, one of my favorite, if not the favorite A24 movie is It Comes at Night.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that one?
That one's great.
That one, yeah, like him, him running into Joel Egerton, who's the main character, and they like have that weird tense relationship where they're sharing the house together. And Christopher Abbott always has these like just very strange characters that are like something's like not all the way right. Something's always a little bit off. You're like just not comfortable around him.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I was not expecting anyone like that in the cast. Casey Affleck's a big swing too, but he's done some good comedy. He came out with one called what was it called? I forgot. There's an Apple TV movie that he came out with Matt Damon just recently.
The Instigators.
The Instigators, yeah, and it has what's that rapper's name? White guy.
White guy.
It has Jack Harlow in it too.
Oh, yeah, Jack Harlow.
But that's like an action comedy, and I think he does a really good job. Casey Affleck does a really good job in that movie. So these are awesome. Natasha Lyonne, wow. Did you give Natasha Lyonne a different name, or is she still called Mr. Chow? Just like a secret name?
Yeah.
Did you come up with one? It could work. Mr. Chow.
I think she's still just Mr. Chow. Yeah, I think she's still Mr. Chow. Yeah, 100%.
That's the way to do it.
Liam Neeson's still Mr. Chow too.
Yeah, first he's Qui-Gon Jinn, Ra's al Ghul, and Mr. Chow. He plays only Asian characters.
The thing about that Liam Neeson role, though, is he does it exactly how Ken Jeong does it verbatim.
Yeah. He jumps out of the car. No, you fuck on me.
Yeah. So,
suck on these little Chinese nuts.
One of the other ideas I had for Ken Jeong was Aquafina.
Oh yeah.
I swear to God, when you told me that you wanted to do women characters, I was like, Aquafina.
She's gonna pop up. She's definitely gonna pop up.
Yeah.
She's a pop-off queen.
They both have villain voices for sure. They could sound like it.
Yeah.
They both have similar rasps. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did that. I enjoyed it. I had a good experience. I am fulfilled. We hope you enjoyed Box Office Redux. Let us know which cast you like the most. Which one would you buy a ticket for? A24's The Hangover. Let us know in the comments. Who would you cast in these roles? And so on and so forth. Thank you for watching Box Office Redux. Redo.
It's that thing.
That is so fetch.
You love them and they know it.
How the hell you gonna get fired on your day off? Yeah, I was high when I said that. Tom! What we're talking about is money. Real money. Amigo money. No dough, no show.
Hamburger, cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast.
How? I mean, funny like I'm a clown.
That guy in little gold.
Take it off, dickhead. I'm serious.